You ready?
Ready?
Are you steady?
Not really,
All
but let's
right.
go.
Okay.
No, I'm
Smiling.
steady and I'm ready and I'm
Wait a
ready
minute.
and I'm steady and let's go.
I was almost
Go,
shimmying, but it
go.
didn't work.
You better get it right before you do it in front of the fam.
I'm looking back at it. All right, let's go. All right, welcome back to our channel. Meet Takeste and Jones.
DeCasta and Jones. DeCasta and Jones.
We gonna do a
DeCasta
jingle.
and Jones.
We gonna make a real jingle. I'm telling you. Bro, let's work on some music. She gonna lay the vocals. All right, so I'm Living Ishe from Living Ishe Reviews, and this is
Lisa, also known as the Alkali Yogi.
all right. And this is a mukbang. Plus, we're going to discuss 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days, Season 5, Episode 13, entitled There's No Fear in Love. And I'll tell you who they got that quote from in just a minute. But before we get into that, we're going to get into this.
Pow. We don't just do mukbangs over here at Meet DeCasta and Jones. We do alkaline, vegan, gluten-free, and delicious.
Tasty.
Okay?
Delicious and nutritious.
Delicious and nutritious food. That's how we do it, okay? So no one here is getting their cholesterol through the roof, although cholesterol is good for you as well. No one here is getting obese. Everyone here is nurturing, healthy, vibrant, just like the food on our plate. What do we have? We have a mixed protein blend of all things like kale, Swiss chard, bok choy, bada boom, bada bing. We've got red onions as well as shallots. We've got orange bell peppers. We've got red grape tomato, and we've also got cucumber in there. So everything is seeded, everything is organic, bada bing, bada boom. Dressed it up with a little bit of a grainy quality mustard,
Ooh, all right.
lemon juice, olive oil, sea salt, and even a spot of vegan sour cream. Thank you, Kite Hill. And right here, what do we have? Well, we have scrambled egg, except it's scrambled chickpeas. Bada bing, bada boom. Also alkaline with chickpea flour. Again, orange, yellow, and red bell peppers for over here, because the more colors that you have, the more you cleanse through your body, the more vitality. And get this, guys, each color that's associated with a chakra is also associated to the colors on the colors on your plate. So
with the chakra
orange bell peppers, great for the solar plexus, right? Purple like onions, great for the crown chakra, etc., etc. So really, really nutritious, really alive. I've used also some organic powder, garlic powder onion powder, because garlic is not alkaline. And let's just enjoy now. Let's get to eating so we can get on with this review. As per normal, I keep saying that, but I've yet to do it. I will put the ingredients below.
Yeah. Get on her about those ingredients.
I'll get
those
on
recipes.
I will. And for me, just so we know, I'm actually not going to be partaking in that because I just recently ate.
And there you go.
And yes, so instead, what I'm going to have is just a little decaf coffee with ashwagandha and with vegan collagen, because bam, that's how we do it. Everything is nutrified. Oh, that should be like a slogan. We nutrify. Let's get on with it.
Hey, I'm here all week, folks. And I'm washing it down with some world famous mango juice. And best mango juice I had is in Africa, but that's a different video for another day. Okay, so let's get on with the shall we? Okay, 90 Day Fiance. Okay, they start the episode with Hamza and Memphis. Memphis is eating like she's pregnant. Okay, not really, but she had a whole. Oh yeah. That remains to be seen. But she had a whole.
Screens are speaking.
Yeah, they had a whole table full of sweets, like cakes and pastries, and they was chowing down.
Donuts.
donuts, all kinds of stuff. But I bet it was a lot more healthy than in the United States. Okay, so she and Hamza's mom get ready to meet to this interpreter. They get ready to meet an interpreter because Hamza's mom wants to talk to Memphis concerning how Hamza will be received and treated in the USA, because Hamza told her about, Memphis's her past of, staying with the baby daddy. And she is, rightly so, she is concerned about how Hamza will be, if he's going to be in danger of the ex, coming back trying to give him 5 across the lip. Or, she don't know what's going to happen, She don't know if that's a relationship that's going to pop back up and Hamza's going to be caught in the middle. So anyway, they want to discuss that. Will he get any smoke from the ex? No. From what Memphis says. But, Memphis, all her past and her problems, she want to know if that's going to show up in the marriage. And, because, she knows about all her issues in her past. When she start tripping on Hamza, trying to fight him and stuff, how them Michigan people, no, I'm just joking. All right, she ain't from Detroit, but she looked like she'll fight some man. As a mom herself, she should understand this concern. So, but instead, it seems like she getting like kind of mad, kind of like, she emotional about it. She kind of raises her voice at the interpreter. She just rude in this sense, and no manners. They squash it. And Memphis starts crying and pleading with the mother that she's going to treat him right and that she really loves him. And like I said, I could tell Hamza really loves her. And, she explains that her mom tells her that Hamza loves her.
What happens next?
Hold on.
Now you're eating his food. All right, I think this might mean I need to step in, or you got this?
Mike?
How are your scrambled eggs and your salad?
Yeah, great.
Oh, I forgot to mention, I finished it off. I drizzled off with some spicy olive oil. Thanks, Olive Brooklyn, Park Slope.
Drizzling in here. All right, Mike and Jasmine. They go to Mike and Jasmine. Gino and Jasmine,
yeah.
So Gino is so elated that he got the blessings from Jasmine's mom, and they show her working out. So Jasmine goes to work out. Here comes bad luck schlep rock Gino, like instead of getting some, shoes on and working out with his woman, he's just in there harassing her like a little kid harassing their mom when their mom is busy. And Jasmine is getting all like irritated with he's like, what are you working out? What are you doing? What's that? How many sets is it? What do you work? What is that? And she's like, what are you doing here? What do you want? So Gino keeps bugging her. He's never gonna get it, but she's asking, why you here? What? Okay, so he's there just to bug her, basically, but he doesn't know that Jasmine is still mad about this picture gate, this scandal with the nudes, because she's getting bullied online about her nude photos, and she thinks it's Gino's ex because somebody created a troll account and saying all kinds of stuff so they can DM her. She must have spread the pictures around. But Gino keeps saying, oh, don't worry about it. It's fine. He's got no emotions about it. He's like, and she's like, no, it's not fine. She's extra hyper emotional, So he got to pull her in and really tell her, he got to make her believe it. But the way he's being a little nonchalant about it, because she's worried about her career. Panama's a small place. And she's a teacher, so she don't want to get fired over this, and so he's like, oh, don't worry, I'll take care of you. And she's like, oh, you're gonna get me $3,000 a month? That's pretty good in Panama. But you know, he act like he ain't got no money, so I don't know. He ain't gonna be able to support her lifestyle. I'm just if he really don't have any money or no job. I don't know why he's not working. He's not support. He's not retired, but he don't seem remorseful.
Yeah, c'est la vie. Word on the streets also is that Jasmine has an OnlyFans though. So on the one hand, I'm like, I feel for her because obviously as a professional, you don't want your nudes to be out in the ether. And on the flip side, if you already have an OnlyFans, allegedly, then are you just upset because maybe this wasn't what you, these are images that you're not going to be compensated for?
Yeah.
I don't know.
If anybody had images, she need to be getting paid.
Right.
But that fool messed it up. He messed up the bag for her, you know?
If she does have an OnlyFans, though, then it kind of discredits her argument of I'm going to be fired because, truth be told, you could be fired for having an OnlyFans as well.
Yeah, anybody can, get that subscription,
Mm-hmm.
copy
Including
and
your
paste.
supervisors, yeah, and share that with your the school that you work for, and you can still technically get fired, allegedly, if you have this OnlyFans page. And if not, then yeah, Gino effed up.
But he don't have no street ball in his body, so he can't think that he could be getting played.
Gino, get to the gym. You can't hold on to a beautiful, fit woman like Jasmine and just allow yourself to fall apart. She's accepting of it now, but there's going to come a point where she's going to be like, I want someone that puts as much effort into their appearance and into their body as I do in my appearance and my body. We're just humans.
Yeah.
And somebody who works out as much as she does, who's as health conscious as she is, as a vegan, et cetera, it's going to matter to her at some point. When she's past the rainbows and the roses and you get into that mature love, when you evolve out of that puppy love, she's going to want somebody who's also, because it's a lifestyle, right? Mm-hmm. So you want somebody whom you can share a particular lifestyle with. It makes it really hard in a household when you have two people that are like night and day in terms of how they eat, how they move their bodies, et cetera, et cetera. So.
That's true. I mean, now we go to Ben and Mahogany or whatever. So they get back to the hotel from the sand dunes last week. I guess they set up some meeting with Mahogany's parents and family for breakfast with Ben, but he flaked.
I actually don't think that he knew that they were coming.
Oh, well,
yeah.
She went to breakfast with her family.
Yeah.
He's upstairs packing.
How do you feel about the fact that they came? Because he had planned this trip for the two of them to work on their intimacy. She's a young adult, but she's an adult. Did she need to invite her parents?
Yeah. I guess, that's funny. I mean, well, it's a free vacation. I mean, she ain't paying for nothing, so why not invite your... No, I don't know. I don't know why they came. But I guess...
they don't trust Ben at all.
No.
Because I'm sure at most they would have been out there for a couple of nights.
Yeah.
And they were like, that's not good enough for us. We're coming.
Yeah.
Seemingly.
He do look kind of crazy, if you ask me, with that. Never mind.
The shade of it all.
So, he wrote her a 10-page... Well, first of all, he's still mad because he ain't got no status other than friend, pastor. So...
Old man. Just kidding.
Old man, yeah.
You're not old.
Look, what man writes a 10-page text over text? You know how long that is? 10 pages? Just to explain instead of talking to her. I mean, that's so crazy. What a punk he is. He's mad, and he expected her to respond from 10 pages within 24 hours or 12 hours. So he is packing. But this is what's funny. What's messing with me is when she's speaking English and it seems like she's talking normally, really great English. Then she's like, oh, wait a minute, I got to get back in character. Then she starts having an accent when she's speaking English with a fake Spanish accent. I'm like, this girl is, this is not real. But
You're convinced she's from Cali.
she's from Cali.
He's been saying that.
She's from Cali or Texas. No, I think she's Cali for real.
Ooh, not a fake Spanish accent.
But she goes on to say like he thinks he's perfect and blames everything on the ex and church. He can't take accountability. Ben's checked out because he's worried that she checked out. So he's worried about. I think he's worried also that he said too much and that he expects a response. Like, get a girl time to read 10 pages of text. I don't know. How's somebody gonna do that? But anyway, that's all I got from that part. Yeah.
We saw that was an epic fail. So to all the viewers, don't do it.
Don't do it. 10 pages is enough. Like 2 pages is enough. 10, come on, 1 page from a man. We don't need to be expressing our emotions like that over text. We need to be we need to be talking. Come on, that's really
That's moving mad.
moving mad.
Hey, yo,
right.
that's moving mad.
So now we go to Mike and Jimena. Okay, so they left off at the cafe that they was at last week when Mike was speaking to his friend's fiance, and the fiance was speaking Spanish, so she was doing the translating for Mike and Jimena, and then Jimena asked if he was ending a relationship. Are you breaking up with me? And but Mike he should, but he still won't leave. He's so sprung, nose wide open. After this woman called him a degenerate, a pig, and said she's like just hate being next to him. He's still trying to hold on to something. After the friends told this jackass that his supposed to be girlfriend told them that he's sick and weird. I mean, she just disrespected this man, and he does not get it. So the friend calls Mike and warns him, "Hey, get out of there! Like, you don't deserve it. Stop paying for stuff. Just come home." And Jimena sees it. She's figured what the friend's up to. Then she get mad. She's like, "Hey, don't be bringing other people in our relationship." Our relationship. Nah, this is a relationship. So Mike, the friends telling Mike to get out of Dodge, and so now the two women are kind of arguing, in Spanish, and she's like, "Hey, that's my friend. You doing it wrong. Whatever." And then Jimena is like, "Mike, these bitches in our relationship, get them out." She mad her meal ticket is gonna be leaving. Like he's just a big bag of money with legs
ATM.
and glasses.
A walking ATM.
Yeah, and her the way she is trying to convince him of stuff is like an 8-year-old daughter trying to convince their father who they got his finger wrapped around. It's like they're talking like it's stupid analogies. Like I don't. He's following the little head when he need to be following the big head.
Oh.
Because he is so sprung on this chick.
Speak on it.
She got him where she want him. Well, it's like now he kind of got the power because she don't want him to leave because she just see that money leaving, and then so now he takes the opportunity to be like, well, he says I'm going to a hotel room because I don't know what to do, and then he asks, she kind of begs. Well, she's like, "No, where you going?" Blah blah blah, and he's like, well, "I'm going to a hotel room," and then basically, you want to come with me, cause he kind of smart on this. He's like, "If you don't want me to leave, you got to give me something." Like he didn't say that, but that's what he's doing. So he kind of gets her to come to the hotel, right?
No, so she gets him to stay with him, she gets him to stay back at her place, and then he says to her, "Can we please sleep together. He says, please.
He begging. He begs her for the nook.
And what we saw right then and there was a transaction taking place.
Yeah, she know what she doing. He kind of knew what he was doing because he's like, if I don't get none, he was gonna go to that hotel. Believe me, he was gonna be out. So he kind of figured like, oh, like, she don't want me to go.
Deuces.
Yeah.
So what does Jimena do? Unfortunately, she
gives it to him.
She agrees
she rocks his world.
She agrees to, even though she's obviously repulsed.
Yeah.
Not allegedly, clearly, because she has expressed that.
Yeah. So she basically, you know,
it was a transaction.
She played herself
TLC.
out. He got what he wanted. She gonna get what she wants, and that's it.
Is this what we're doing now, TLC? We're gonna just outright show transactions, sexual favors.
Hey.
This is a family show, no?
He met her on the webcam. He tried to get her stop working so nobody else would get her.
I don't know if older viewers knew that, though, because TLC kind of massaged that very carefully at the beginning, where it just said they met online.
Yeah, think. Look at how he looked. Where else is he gonna meet a woman?
But word is on the streets is that they did meet through this webcam service, where she was being Jimena and he was being an observer, pleasuring himself.
I gotta say one thing before we move on to the next segment. When they are trying to convince us that this guy that he was talking to is his real friend, the dude that looks like a street dude, a white street dude, why they try to make them kind of look like that would be his friend? They have Mike in a leather jacket, like a black leather jacket, like
they styled him.
He's so cool, you know.
Styled him.
I'm like, I know he don't own that. He gave it right back to TLC. All right, so now we moving on to Miss Yo, word to the mother.
Oh yeah, that was
Usman.
She's like, hey girl, hey.
Yeah, she black now, I guess. So you could talk about that.
So
she has a revelation, right?
She did?
She had a revelation like, this guy has played me. That's what she thinks.
Yeah. She did get to that part. But yeah, she's basically letting her friend know that she's had a quote-unquote tough time because she wasn't getting the from Usman in the beginning. You know, that's apparently different in Africa. There's an African way. Highly offensive, but whatever. So it goes back to that. And beyond the hey girl, hey, she's basically letting her friend know that she's pissed because she's just come to the information of the video that was being shot in Tanzania was actually pertaining to a real life relationship that Usman had with a real life woman named Zara. And that for some reason is upsetting to Kimbali. Now I could see like, as a person who is still like emotionally immature, how that could be upsetting, but you have to have some level of awareness and at least call yourself out, which I don't think Kimbali is doing yet. So it's like, he's making a music video about prior relationship. What is offensive given that all of this transpired before you and him were even a couple? He had a life before you came into his life. So unless we're going to be holding people's past against them whilst they're trying to make a present and a future with someone else, I'm confused by why she's choosing to pick a fight over this. In any case, she's basically summed it up by saying, I'm thinking about leaving here unless he gives me a massive gesture. It has to be massive. And already I'm thinking, let me guess, she wants an engagement. Which leads me to believe, and forgive me for being slow on the uptake, viewers, that this is actually a contractual obligation when you sign up to 90-day fiancé before the 90 days, which is what we are currently reviewing. Because in real life, if this is not contractual, I don't see how in real life you would go from what they've experienced over the last 8, 9, 10 days together to I love you, I want to get married to you.
Yeah.
So that's what that made me think of, like that this was production and that they are setting it up for a proposal. So forgive me if I've spoiled it for anyone out there. And for those of you who had this figured out ages ago, forgive me for being slow on the uptake. I always say I am far from the smartest person in the room. I like to be surrounded by people who are smarter than me. It gets my noodle cooking as well. So that was that. Up next is Hamza and Memphis. So here we are again. Memphis goes shopping with Hamza's sister, Hamza's mother, and she even dials in her own mother via FaceTime so that she could be a part of the, this tradition of shopping for a wedding dress. Memphis is happy to wear something traditional, which is surprising because thus far, and no offense, Memphis, but we've not shown you taking any real interest in his culture, his religion. You eat the pork. You have premarital sex. I don't see you learning Arabic or even trying to learn Arabic. So respecting the cultures and customs, but okay, she's going to
call him Bibi, Habibi.
Yeah, so I mean, now she's going to do a wedding that's traditional. It's the first time we've seen you even pretend to be interested in things that are not American. But all right, here we are. And eventually she tries on a couple of ridiculous outfits before she finally settles on something that I don't know if it's customary, but it's trousers. So that's interesting. I'm not going to say anything negative about it. I've just not seen trousers be worn for a wedding. But if that's part of the Tunisian culture, all for it. It is very bejeweled, and so it still has that razzmatazz and that bling, if you will. Bedazzled. But yeah, I mean, once this wedding is said and done, and my feeling is that they are married, and the word on the street is that they are married, and that in fact Hamza is even already in the U.S. I would say Memphis, be interested in something outside of yourself, your world, and your culture, because now you're sharing a life, possibly, with somebody who's from a completely different culture. I think it's really off-putting to the person who comes from outside of America to be with somebody who has zero interest in the traditions and the cultures that they grew up in personally. So that's that. Moving on to Ella and Johnny. Ella, she's so annoying. I can't stand Ella. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Something else. I'm telling you.
No offense, Ella, but you are so immature. All right. So the reality is I'm just not a fan. It's nothing personal. You're just not my cup of tea or cup of decaf. I just think Ella lives in a world in which she's so self-absorbed. She doesn't understand, or overstand what it's like for people who have adults, nonetheless, who have responsibilities, because she herself is an adult with zero responsibilities. And so while she can't appreciate that Johnny is not only keeping a roof over his head, his son's head, but also his parents' heads who are helping him raise his son, he does not have the time, the luxury, the ability to be in quarantine for 5 weeks in total, where there's no work, there's no going outside. Never mind what that would do to him physically, mentally, and emotionally. Financially, he cannot sustain it, is what it looks like. And Ella has no appreciation for this. So she's like, so what's the dealio? Are you going to meet me in Dubai? Picking up from a couple of weeks ago. He's like, I've made my decision. And as a responsible adult, basically, that is a no-go for now.
With a child.
With a child, right? Which means his child, and even in some cases, his parents will come before his own needs. This is a responsible adult. And for that, I have to, give a lot of kudos. I respect Johnny, because it takes a lot to be a person that has to care for so many others. So in any case, he says it's a no-go for me. She gets upset. And then after that, I don't know why she thought this was a good idea, but she goes on to divulge the fact that she had to have a male friend come over and hit it so that she could feel better about the fact that she's not had any male...
I'm shocked. Well,
any male affection. I don't know how this didn't blow the whole thing up. Again, it makes me feel like we're being played to some degree, because even Johnny's reaction to me was so far from what I would have. He's just like, this is not easy for me to hear, but okay, I'm still coming out in February. I'll even get you a diamond ring. What are we doing? Are we actually rewarding poor behavior like this, Johnny? Please do not go on to further perpetuate people who are already very entitled by rewarding them with a diamond ring after she's just admitted to sleeping with somebody else whilst being in love with you. She couldn't even give you the courtesy of waiting for your final decision. You were still thinking about it, and she went out and slept with somebody else. So I'm
could not wait.
I'm disgusted for you, Johnny. And Ella, I think you have the right to do whatever you want with your body, but I think that you are playing games. I think that you're entitled. If you want to be sleeping around with the whole of Idaho or Iowa, wherever you're from, forgive me.
Utah.
Okay, whatever. Forgive me, not to
I don't.
mishmash all of those places up.
Whatever.
I know you're from farmland somewhere in the middle of America. We appreciate you, by the way, farmers, because you keep food on our shelves. So not dodging the farmers in any capacity. I'm just saying, if you wish to sleep with everyone in, in your area, in your state, whatever, let that man go. Let him go. He has responsibilities. You are another dependent on him. You've not even illustrated the ability to take care of yourself, to be an actual partner in that. Can you contribute to the household? Could you actually contribute? Because you're not even taking care of self. All right. I think I've gone too much, too deep into this. It's just that it's really upsetting for me. So I think you all are jokers at this point. Johnny, you too. If you actually go ahead and get her a ring, wanker. Sorry to say it. Joker.
The hot olive oil. It's got a kick.
Finally got it.
Spicy. Woo! But in a good way.
Yeah.
It's so good.
You're enjoying
It's spicy.
the vegan.
I just hit a pepper.
You're enjoying the vegan egg scramble.
I am.
All right, moving on, because we do not need to go back and speak about Ella and Johnny.
Yeah.
Let's chat about Mike and Jimena. So we come back to them the following day. Apparently, she's a lioness, and she refers to him as an owl because he stares. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Yeah.
And he's probably pretty flat in the bed, but anyways. So basically, Jimena reveals that she's not going to be able to bring.
Lucky.
Well, that's what Mike reveals. We know because he acts like a 5-year-old. He's like, I got some. Whereas Jimena's like, yeah, so I'm not going to be able to do that again, until we're married. So, and of course, as you know, we're not getting married until you've paid for
Turned
these.
off the spigot.
Until we've paid for the tummy tuck. These have been enhanced until I got my wedding dress, and the wedding is paid for, and then I will sleep with you again. So as we can see, that last night's transaction was concluded. There will not be any further transactions until Jimena gets what she asks for. Again, is this what you want to be showing us on Family TV TLC? But I digress. Gino and Jasmine. I'm sorry, did you want to chime in about Jimena and Mike or Ella and Johnny? I feel like I kind of
No. She's
railroaded through those.
She's like, everything she's doing now is too late.
Jimena?
I think he already got a taste of the goods, and he's down there. Once he gets back home, they're gonna talk him out of it being with her. She should have did that earlier. She should have let him, get some. But she had this realization that he's gonna be out of her life. The money's gonna be drying up.
Yeah.
That's it.
Very sad for all parties, but especially for Jimena, because I'm not a fan of Mike. Okay, Gino and Jasmine. Here we are again with the most volatile of all the groups. Not being funny, Jasmine, but as pretty as you are to look at, you're also soul-sucking and energy-sucking a little bit. Just a little bit, because it's just too much. And I guess maybe it's just me, forgive me, but I don't have the bandwidth to, at this point in my life, not ever would I want to be in a situation that it's that volatile, but even watching it now is kind of like, takes my breath away, because I think I was doing a lot of that in my younger years, and now it's just I want to be further removed from that, and I just kind of want to be more in the middle,
Yeah.
Too high to get over, too low to get under. You're stuck in the middle, which is where I want to be, in the middle. So, but continuing on, Jasmine wants Gino to prove himself again. So I don't know how she came up with this, but she's decided that she wants to go through his emails. She finds that Gino is happy to share his emails because he's spineless. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, if there's nothing to hide, I think it's fine. But I just don't like the way she asked it in the time. And also, I don't know that it was really related to, I don't see what it had to do with what was at hand, which is that she's concerned about her pictures being leaked. Going into his inbox and checking his travel emails, to me, are not linked to what is currently transpiring. So it's almost like she's just, again, trying to look for more drama. I think she is one of those people that is genuinely addicted and needs that ish. You know what I mean?
If you look
Intravenous.
for it, you're going to find something.
Yeah. So if there was again, I want to be clear. I'm not saying that there is never a time where you don't ask a partner to look at his emails, and people will disagree. I get it. It's very polarizing. But if he's giving you a reason, then that's fine. I just don't see what's currently going on. How that relates
and everything.
Exactly,
She
how
keep
that
bringing
relates.
Up,
yeah,
keep digging the old bones. And
that part, because we don't see the link between prior travel with his prior spouses or partners and how that relates to what's happening right now. So that's why it's suspect. And like he said, if you look for something, you're going to find something. Did you want to add anything to that?
Nah, she just never ending, treating him like a kid.
Yeah.
And he doesn't. Well, did we get into that part?
About.
Oh, when he kind of turned the tables, so to speak.
No, we're not there yet.
All right,
Yeah, we're
let's
not
go.
there. So now we actually go back to Ben and Mahogany. I just want to say, what are you guys doing? Seriously, you're wasting time. This is a horrible storyline. So I just say nothing happens. I say you guys leave the show. We're very quickly losing interest.
I'm done with them.
Yeah, everyone's losing interest. We don't understand what this says. You guys play with us from jump with this whole storyline, so this was rubbish.
He's a pastor who apparently is an alcoholic, but more to that.
Right, and he is a pastor who wants to be with somebody who's 30 years his junior.
22 years old. He ought to be ashamed of himself.
Exactly 30 years his junior.
He ought to be ashamed of himself.
So for the life of me, I don't understand why Ben is convinced that his soulmate has to be 30 years younger than him. Why it can't be somebody who also has children that are maybe teens or young adults that, they could kind of help each other and support each other with and kind of do a blended family situation instead of literally trying to take on a child, and turn her into your wife. But
he's in Arrested Development.
That part.
He's trying to live back how he was at 20.
Right.
Because apparently that must have been when he got locked with the wife, and I don't know, something happened at that time. Yeah,
the church, yeah, or as he refers to it, a cult. Yeah, for sure.
He missed all his time. He's going back and want to live that.
Yeah, I just don't know of a lot of women that are so young at 22 that would want to jump into a wife and a stepmother role. Like, it's a lot to ask anybody. It's a lot to ask a 27-year-old. Never mind a 22-year-old. She literally just became an adult the day before yesterday.
Yeah, she don't know anything. She still ain't seen the world. I mean, I don't know what she's seen, but 22, like, she still got a lot to experience.
So you guys are wankers too. Sorry. Usman and Kimberly. So they meet down by the pool, it looks like. And Kimbali once again shows her ass. It's ass to the world. Am I allowed to say ass on the YouTube?
Yeah.
She shows her ass to the world and her Karen-like attributes when she asks Usman if she can take a look at his Soulja Boy necklace, only to then flip it and say, I'm going to hold on to this until you give me a big old grand gesture to show me that you love me and that you are basically sorry for having been with any women or having known any females before I came into your life last week.
Yeah, I mean, she wouldn't take the Xbox and the PS5 and the laptop back. Yeah. But that Soulja Boy chain, she know he can wear that anywhere and be seen with it and have pictures with it. So she's like, oh, that must be more valuable since he ain't offered to give that back. So
do you think that's how she came to that solution? I didn't even think about that.
I mean, I'm sure it has something, and she was probably just like picking at it, like thinking about it, overanalyzing, like what can I do to make him feel bad, and hurt him. And I mean, I don't think he really cared. I don't think the chain was. It looks nice, but it was, to me, it looked stupid. It looks nice, but it's kind of played like nobody ain't wearing. It's dated. Mm-hmm. All right, that's about. She's just like you said, immature. She's too immature for her age. Like,
yeah,
she could let some stuff go, and she's never gonna be happy. Because too much stuff rides on other people for her. She's not happy inside to like be like, okay, you know what? I don't got to deal with it. If you don't want to deal with it, then
Yeah, that part.
I'm gone.
And so I'll just sum it up and say that was disgusting to see you take that necklace like that. It was really repulsive. So, but hey,
That necklace is like, I'm sure he's like, whatever. I got enough pictures. I got the video.
right.
I already used it for my purposes. I can't be rocking the same chain 5 years from now.
That part too. Keep up, Kimberly.
That's why these
supposed
chains
to
don't make sense at all. After a while, they just depreciate. Whatever. I don't. If it's real.
I don't think it's real because she was harping over the $45 delivery fee. But anyways,
Yeah.
if it was real, you would be thinking at the bigger picture if you had spent like thousands and thousands. But it doesn't matter. Anyways, this scene ends with her throwing a glass of water in his face as she storms off the beach and is like, "You better do something big or I'm on the next flight."
She lucky the cameras is around. That's all I'm saying. She lucky.
And they actually, just to kind of wrap up this couple so that we can also wrap up the review, the next time we see them, after she throws the water, when we come back to them a little bit later on, he's following her to the room. That's where she's stomping towards. And he's basically, I don't understand where this is coming from. We weren't even together. And there was no actual overlap. Like, sure, one thing was ending, but we were just communicating. You were a fan at that point, right? So let's be clear. I was in a relationship with her. You were a fan of my music. And if anything, I don't have to share my life with my fans, what's happening personally in my personal life, right? No artist has to do that. But in any case, she keeps hammering this issue. And she's like, if you don't do something big for me, I'm basically going to leave. There are flights even tonight going back to the U.S. And Usman says, peace out, safe flight.
There you go. Take that. Making my city look bad.
Grow those balls back, Usman. Call her on her bluff. To wrap up with Hamza and Memphis, now that, Memphis has made peace with his mother, she's purchased her traditional Tunisian wear for their wedding, which is in 2 days. She finally brings up her attorney back in Michigan to find out about a prenup, all of 48 hours before they're supposed to walk down the aisle. Only to find out what?
I can't believe it. She up here making a big deal out of all this stuff. She's talking about this prenup. That was like the starting fights. And she didn't even have the documents executed. I mean, she didn't even have them printed. I mean, she didn't have no documents, period. There was no prenup. She was all like anticipation of him saying yes so she can then get the prenup done. If you don't make that big of a deal, you supposed to have a paper like, okay, you said you're going to sign it. Here go the papers. But she had, oh man, her common sense is so lacking. Man.
If you guys had genuinely planned from jump to be married on this trip, then why was the prenup not even discussed before you even boarded the flight? Because you all could have done the back and forth. You could have had it drawn up in the States. You could have had it forwarded to his attorney over in Tunisia, which by Michigan law, that's the standard, is that both parties are represented by counsel. So that way both parties understand the ins and outs of the prenup. Mm-hmm. So if it was always set that you guys were absolutely going to marry on this trip, before you even decide that is going to be like, the finality is that we're for sure getting married on this trip, you have that conversation. Because why would you save that to be done face to face when you've already decided over the phone that you're going to get married? If you're going to decide everything over the phone, then you might as well decide everything over the phone. Right? Yeah. For me, it's not like, so the argument, I wanted to wait until we were a person. This is something that we should talk about in person. Well, no, you guys clearly fell in love, got engaged, and decided to get married all whilst on FaceTime anyways. So
I'm telling you.
Well, I've dealt with that.
She didn't want to pay the money to the attorney to draw up those papers.
I don't know.
And he says no.
Well,
that could be one reason. Two, she could be scared that she could have been looking at it through low people who don't have anything lenses, like saying, if I bring this up over the phone, he's going to say no. So she didn't get him done. or she is just got over there. What are they doing all day? And she didn't have the thought to contact the attorney the whole time she's been there. I mean, it's the only thing I'm saying is you made this such a big deal and you didn't even have the paperwork.
Yeah.
You didn't even have
Right.
the prenup written down. Like,
Right.
you can write something down right now, have them sign it, and I'm sure there's a way, like, you can get it drawn up. I mean, anything. Like, she could have typed it on her computer before she got there. She could have did a lot of things, but she is not. And she's going to talk about he's bad at planning. He's not responsible. Like, you just show what you are.
Yeah. Because truthfully, having been fully responsible, they would have discussed the prenup prior. They would have each seen counsel prior to her even boarding the flight, and they would have had it signed and back and completed before she even flew out there.
Yeah.
That way, all you needed to worry about on the trip was enjoying one another, getting ready for the wedding, getting the correct paperwork lined up to even be married in Tunisia. So anyways, neither here nor there. So now she's in distress. She's going to go stay at a hotel just to clear her mind. The conundrum is, does she put her children first and, postpone the wedding? Or does she put her relationship first, go through with this wedding, and hope for a post-nup, which may or may not, be as concrete after the I do's have already been completed. So she's left us pondering and wondering, but we kind of think we know what she's done because word on the streets again is that they're married, but we'll know for certain maybe next week.
Yeah.
So off to the hotel she goes, and we'll tune in again next week to see what's going on there. Last, but certainly not least, our most volatile couple to sum it up for today's recap / mukbang, Gino and Jasmine. Jasmine finds something from 100 years ago when him and his ex-partner or wife went to Legoland, and apparently that is reason to distrust Gino because he didn't mention that.
Because she didn't go to Legoland with Gino.
Because he didn't mention that. Again, how it relates to what's going on with them now and how he shared her nude images with his ex, who might now put them out onto and leak them out for the public. I don't see the link personally. What say you?
No, there's no link. I mean, what is he going to do? Like, everything he did with somebody else,
right?
Like she wants to do. I mean, she's just kind of jealous of his past. And, like, this is a whole new relationship. Like, y'all can do the same things or y'all can do some new stuff. Like, you can't, like, fault him for having a past, like, doing stuff. So he took somebody to Europe or he took somebody here. Like, you don't know if y'all gonna do that, if he gonna take you somewhere, but what does it matter? Like, he ain't questioning everything you did with somebody. I'm sure you've done stuff with other people that you haven't done with him and don't plan to do with him. So, I mean, she's just being ridiculous.
Yeah, so she's just...
They both ridiculous.
They're both
remember,
ridiculous.
He was asking the mom...
Yeah, did she have a lot of boyfriends?
Yeah, like, they both stupid.
That's how you ask to get to know more about the woman you want to marry? That's the question you have for her?
Yeah.
Of all the things you could ask the parents? Anyways.
Both of them, see, they both attracted each other because they both crazy. And they both immature. And they're both insecure about a lot of things.
Loads of things, unfortunately. So she goes on to get upset over that. Finally, Gino decides to also grow testicles. And he says, you know what? You can't continue punishing me like this. This is ridiculous. I don't recall everything that I did 6, 7, 8, 10 years ago. And I believe him.
Well, he said, can you remember what you did 6 years ago? She said, yes.
I don't believe that. So Jasmine is wanting to fight with herself. Gino decides he's going to allow her to fight with herself as he gets up, throws or kicks his chair back and walks away. For the first time we've seen him actually stand up for himself.
I'm mad. Hell with this.
I would be vexed too at this point. Like, I get it, you're upset with me about this one thing, but now you've just pulled in something else. And this is the thing, ladies and gents and viewers and friends. One of the things that we learned was fighting fair, right? And when you're fighting fair, you focus and you only speak about what is currently on the plate to be spoken about. That is if you want resolve. If you don't want resolve, then by all means, bring in everything else.
Yeah. It's
But if peace is what you're going for, you sort out this one issue that's in front of you. How do we deal with the fact that these images might get leaked?
Yeah, I mean,
What are
instead
we
of
going to do?
fanning the flame and trying to put the fire out, she just adding kerosene and wood and fabric, plastic. She had everything flammable to the fire already. Like, it's never going to end.
It's never going to end. But we'll tune in next week.
Just like this review is ending. All right, so we got to go, y'all. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming back, liking and subscribing and all that stuff, supporting. And because we got big stuff coming up for y'all. And on that note, last words.
Get free and stay. Hey, careful now. Don't let the Rona catch you.
That was the
The
spices.
peppers. Oh, well, don't worry. Even if the Rona catches you, you'll be fine because of the alkaline food that I feed you.
Alkaline, though.
The alkaline food will get you through it. But in
My
all
mouth is
fairness,
on fire. I was talking
It's a
about
blood
flaming. I was adding spice, flames, and veggies.
it was spicy olive oil and
It was
habanero.
good. It was good, though.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. But in all realness, guys, stay free. Well, get free and then stay free. Until next time.
Stay decent, folks.
Bye.